Picture this, the roar of a four-cylinder engine echoing down the street, that unmistakable sound that defined generations of riders. Now imagine it not on a 1000cc monster, not on an untouchable superbike, but on a middleweight machine. Accessible, stylish, and built to win over a new wave of riders in the United States. Sounds unlikely? Well, that's exactly the rumor stirring up the motorcycle world right now. The return of Honda's legendary Super Four formula, this time in a 500cc version. The question hanging in the air is simple, yet electrifying. Is Honda about to bring American riders the unique experience of a four-cylinder naked middleweight, something we haven't seen here in decades? And even more intriguing, could a CB500 Super Four really shake up today's US market, where bikes like Yamaha's MT-07 and Honda's own CB500 lineup dominate the streets? These rumors gained traction after Honda filed trademarks for names like CBR500R4 and renewed rights to CB400 Super Four in Japan. All of it points toward a brand new four-cylinder platform in the works. If that's true, the impact could be huge, especially here, where the middleweight segment is in the middle of a big shift. Because what's at stake isn't just another motorcycle. It's the revival of a tradition. For those who don't know, in Japan and much of Asia, the CB400 Super Four was an icon for decades. It was never officially sold in the United States, but it became a cult bike here anyway. Enthusiasts admired it from afar through YouTube videos, magazine features, or the rare gray market import. It was that bike you knew existed but couldn't quite have. Now, that distance might finally be coming to an end. And here's a quick ask. If you're into this kind of deep dive motorcycle content, if you love market insights and breakdowns of the machines we all dream about, hit that subscribe button right now. Because when the first official images of this bike drop, you'll want to be here to catch every detail. But let's be clear, this isn't just about nostalgia. The real question is whether this bike actually makes sense in the American market, or if Honda is simply chasing a piece of history that only truly resonates in Japan. That's the question we're about to unpack, So now that you can almost hear that engine roaring in your head, let's take a step back. To understand the impact a CB500 Super Four could have today, we first need to revisit the legacy that built the name, ***. To really understand the buzz around the possible CB500 Super Four, we need to rewind the story. The Super Four name isn't just a label Honda slapped on a bike. It's a badge with history, weight, and a loyal following. Back in the early 90s, Honda launched the CB400 Super Four in Japan. It wasn't the fastest or the biggest machine in Honda's lineup, but it had something special. A four-cylinder engine packed into a middleweight frame. Smooth, refined, and with a soundtrack that gave riders goosebumps, it quickly became a cult favorite across Asia. For decades, it was the choice for riders who wanted Honda reliability, approachable performance, and that sweet four-cylinder character. The CB400 SF became a rite of passage. In Japan, in Southeast Asia, even in Australia for a time, it wasn't just transportation, it was identity. Riders customized them, raced them, and passed them down like family heirlooms. For a whole generation, the Super Four meant freedom on two wheels. But here in the United States, we never officially got it. Honda focused its American lineup on bigger displacement models and practical twins like the CB500F and CB500X. Sure, some rare CB400 SFs made it here through import channels, but they were unicorns, bikes you saw in niche forums or at the occasional bike meet, not in dealerships. That forbidden fruit status only made the legend grow. Now fast forward to today. The US motorcycle market has changed a lot since the Super Four's heyday overseas. On one side, you have younger riders entering the scene, often starting on affordable 300cc or 400cc twins. Many of them are hungry for the next step up, something with more character and more presence. On the other side, you have seasoned riders who spent years on leather bikes and are now looking for machines that are easier to handle without sacrificing excitement. That's where the middleweight segment comes alive. Models like the Yamaha MT-07 have become bestsellers because they strike that perfect balance. Affordable, powerful enough, and fun in the real world. Honda's current CB500 lineup, the F, the R, and the adventure-ready X, all do well here for the same reason. But here's the twist. All of them are twins. Reliable, efficient, but not exactly the kind of bikes that stir the soul the way a four-cylinder does. And that's the gap the rumored CB500 Super Four could fill. A middleweight naked that doesn't just deliver performance, but delivers an experience. A machine that doesn't sound like every other commuter bike on the block, but one that screams Honda heritage every time you twist the throttle dot. Now the big question starts to take shape. If Honda really pulls the trigger on this new Super Four, where does it fit in the US market? And just how competitive could it be against today's middleweight favorites? Let's dig into that, because the market is shifting fast, and Honda may have spotted a chance to strike right where demand is growing. Asterisk first, let's talk engine. This won't be a recycled version of the old CB400 mill. Reports suggest Honda has been working on a brand new four-cylinder platform in the 400 to 500 cc range. That means smooth power delivery, high rev excitement, and the kind of soundtrack that only a four-banger can deliver. Think of it as a bridge between the approachable CB500 twin and the larger CB650R, but with a personality all its own. Then, there's the styling. If Honda follows the cues of the CB100OF concept revealed earlier this year, we could see a blend of retro inspiration and modern edge. Classic naked lines with aggressive touches, premium details, and of course, that Super Four presence. Not flashy for the sake of it, but unmistakably Honda. On the tech side, there's a strong chance the bike could come with Honda's new e-clutch system, the electronic clutch that debuted on the CB650R and CBR650R. For newer riders, it makes starting, stopping, and shifting smoother and less intimidating. For veterans, it's a convenience that adds modern polish to a classic formula. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room: price and availability. The word is that the CB500 Super Four for China will be built by Weiang Honda's local joint venture, to keep costs competitive with local brands. If the bike makes its way to Europe or the US, production could expand to Thailand or even Ohio, where Honda has manufacturing rootstock. And here's where it gets interesting for us. The sweet spot for a bike like this in the American market would likely fall between $7,000 and $8,500. That will put it right under the CB650R and slightly below Kawasaki ZX4RR, which sells for almost 10 grand. At that price, it could be an attractive alternative for riders who want something unique without breaking the bank. But the bigger question we teased at the start still lingers. Does it actually make sense for the US? The answer may very well be yes. Younger riders here crave individuality, and veteran riders miss the thrill of a four-cylinder without the weight and cost of a liter bike. The CB500 Super Four could be the bike that bridges that gap, offering Honda heritage, four-cylinder, magic, and everyday usability all in one package. Of course, none of this is official yet. The real unveiling may come at CIMAMotor in China on September 19th. If Honda pulls back the curtain there, we'll finally know what's fact and what's rumor. But even now, the possibility alone has sparked a wave of excitement across forums and social feeds. And that tells you something, because sometimes it's not just about specs or sales figures. Sometimes it's about a feeling, a sound, a memory of what riding used to be and what it could be again. That's what the CB500 Super Four represents, Doc. So now I want to hear from you. Would you go for a 500cc four-cylinder over the twins we already have here in the States? Or do you think this is just Honda chasing nostalgia? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to stay ahead of every rumor, every leak, and every official announcement, make sure you're subscribed, because when this bike finally breaks cover, you'll want to be the first to know.